Good evening and a very warm welcome to this program. It's a pleasure to have you all with us here this evening and looking forward to having a wonderful time with you all. My name is Sangeet Ibrahim and I work as a life coach. I'm sure you know what doctors do, what engineers do, and what bankers do. What does a life coach do? Well, let's think about a typical team, a typical cricket team as an example. And imagine that there's a very important match coming up. So what does a coach do? He studies the competition well, looks at the competition in very close detail. Who are the strong players? Who are the weak players? How have they been playing lately? How's the pitch? How the climate is? How the crowd is? And then he looks at his own team and tries to see who are the strong ones and who are the weak ones. And then he crafts a wonderful game plan. And all the team has to do is to go out there and play that plan like champions, irrespective of who the opposition is, play well and to come back home with the trophy. In other words, the coach's job is to convert players into winners. And that's what exactly I do for a living. I help people realize success. I help people live up to their fullest potential. I'm sure that there are parents watching this program who have seen the shows dedicated to physics and math and accountancy, and I'm sure they're wondering, what subject is he going to teach today? Well, my subject is not taught in any school or college, and students will not have to do an examination on the subject either. I think I know what you're thinking. It's not taught in any school or college, and there's no exam on the subject as well, so it's not going to be important. Unfortunately, you're wrong, because this subject is extremely important. And I believe, from my experience, that it is this subject that provides the winning edge to our children, and winning edge to everybody around. And it is this subject that makes a difference between failure and success. Now, that's a mighty whooping statement. I need to validate this. Let's take a look around the world that we live in. And when you look around, you see that there are a lot of people who are extremely successful, doing extremely well in life. You see their photographs in the newspapers. You know that they're running amazingly successful organizations or working in multinational corporations. They go for holidays. They enjoy wonderful relationships. They have great achievements. And you look up to them, and when you meet them, you flock to them because of the sheer charisma and the achievement that they exude. On the other side, unfortunately, you also find people who are struggling through life, literally struggling through life, shifting from one job to another without being successful in any of them, heavily burdened by loans and credit cards, having huge issues with their relationships and their emotions. Now, what's the real difference between these two people? People who are amazingly successful and people who are struggling. I would say the subject that we're going to handle today is the difference. Now, let's look at students, and let's talk about the student community. In every school, if you go right next to the principal's room, you'll see a huge board. And on that board, you'll find the names of students written with pride. Now, these are the students who have topped the CBSE examinations, who have topped the school, who have topped even the whole country. And these are the students in your family, your parents and your relatives tell you, look at those guys. Why don't you become like them? They are the role models. When they come over to you, you go to them with a lot of awe. Similarly, you've got students who become school captains, head boys and head girls, sports captains in the editorial board. On the other hand, you will also find students who are literally struggling with examinations, struggling with academic challenges, struggling in having meaningful relationships with their teachers, parents, and students. Again, what's the difference between these students who are successful and these students who are struggling? I would say the subject that we are talking about today is the difference. Now, what is this subject all about? Well, you'll know in a few minutes. But you might ask me, how do you know? How do you know this? How can you say this so authoritatively? Well, that's what I do for a living. I follow people who are successful. At the corporate front, Among executives, when you hear about somebody who has won an award or who has had a significant achievement, what we do is we go meet them. We talk to them. We talk to the people around them. We try to understand what is it that they think differently. What is it that they feel differently? What is it that they do differently that attracts success towards them? And again, among students, for the last 10 years, we've been working extensively with the student community. Someone wins the Sheikh Hamdan Award, we go meet them. We go to their homes, we talk to their parents, we talk to the students themselves, we talk to their friends. And what we try to do is we try to understand as to what makes them unique. How do they become successful? And we use these findings and we validate them with the academic research that's happening internationally, trying to find out the determinants of success. And together, we craft the subject that we are talking about today. And I've been using the word subject again and again, and I'm sure you want to know what the subject is. I personally call it successories. The accessories that bring you success. Now, what are these accessories? Let me give you some examples. Take the case of Bruce Wayne. You know who Bruce Wayne is, right? Now, for Bruce Wayne to become Batman, he needs some amazing accessories. You know what they are. He has got a full armor. Yeah, and he also has amazing gadgets which allow him to climb buildings. He can even fly, and he has got that cool machine with which he can zip across the country, the Batman. And sometimes it can even fly. Now, it is these accessories that basically helps Bruce Wayne become the all-powerful Batman. Let's look at Ben 10 as another example. Now, Ben 10 is just another boy, but the moment he puts on his watch, now he gets the support of powerful aliens to support him. That is Ben 10's successory, the accessory that helps him become successful. Take Harry Potter again as an example. Again, a very feeble, meek, orphan boy. No one would look at him and say that he's getting ready for something great. But he does. And what helps him? His magic wand, his cloak that gives him invincibility and that makes him invisible as well, and the Petronas charm as well. And for our little friends who really dot on Chota Bheem, he has got his laddus. And his laddus are his accessories. And when he pops them in, he gets ready to beat the big bad world. So here we are talking about successories that you can use to transform your life. If you're really struggling through your academic life, if you're struggling at school, you can use these successories to join the ranks of those who have become immensely successful. So what's this program all about, Wisdom My Teacher? It's like a buffet. That's how I see it. Every day you'll have topics covering physics and chemistry and math. It's like a buffet. So you can pick a little bit of physics here, a little bit of math here, and then you'll have a dish which caters to these accessories, which provides you these accessories. All you need to do, and that's my promise, all you need to do is watch the show, okay? Listen to what's being discussed, write it down. The telephone lines are open all through the show, so you can call us if you have any doubts and you can clarify your doubts. And we are also available on other channels. I actively operate a Facebook page called Destination Success. All you need to do is go to Facebook and search for Destination Success, like the page, and then you can communicate with us. You can exchange your ideas, you exchange your doubts, and we'll be there to support you. Now, what are these accessories and how many of them are there? Well, in fact, there are many. But what we have done is, to make it easy for you, we have taken the most critical 26 successories and we have put it together for you. And we have created an easy model which will help you to remember and apply these accessories. And we call it the A to Z of success. Okay? So, are they effective? Is it worth listening to this? And is it worth imbibing them and applying them in our life? Let me tell you my experience. What we have done is we have actually seen huge transformational changes in students. I can give you examples of students who were struggling with academics, but then who started using these successories and becoming extremely successful. Some of them that I know of, they're currently pursuing their PhDs in reputed institutes back home. Students who would shudder at the thought of facing an audience, we have seen them blossom out into successful public speakers, who are even taking part in prestigious shows like TEDx around the world. and people who've always been among the also ranks, winning prestigious awards like the Sheikh Hamdan Award, which brings you to national repute and fame. So this is a secret that I would like to share with you, and particularly to the parents who are listening to this show. There's a very marginal difference, a very little difference between those who are average performers and those who are great performers. The results might be astoundingly different, but in terms of the real difference between them, it's very small. Let's take the case of golf as an example. An average player in golf, he probably might take 28 putts. We call it a putt. Each time someone hits the ball in golf, it's called a putt. He might take 28 putts to complete a round. And how many putts do a great player take? Someone like Tiger Woods? You'll be amazed. Probably 22 or 23. So it's just a difference of 3 or 4. An amazing basketball player. An average basketball player can convert maybe 70% of his throws into baskets. And a great basketball player maybe converts 75% to 76%. So the difference is very little. All your children have to do, and all we have to do to succeed in life, is to make slight changes in the way we think, marginal changes in the way we feel, and we'll find astounding results. So this is what these accessories can do for you. It's a promise. Listen to them, imbibe them, adapt them one by one, and be amazed at the difference that you see. Live life to your fullest potential. I told you that we have 26 of them, and we have created a simple model. We call it A to C, so there's one for every letter in the alphabet. So let's start. Together, we'll go through each and every one of them. This is a 1-hour show, I believe. So we'll try to finish it today. If not, we'll definitely come back and continue this existing journey. For someone who has been in coaching business for a long time and someone who has seen people succeed amazingly well, I wish you all the best. So let's start our journey through these accessories, the A to Z of success. Let me start with the first one, okay? The first one, starting with the letter A, nothing other than ambition. And I've put it there as the first one because that's the most important accessory. An ambition is a burning desire that you have inside you to win. A burning desire that you will not be contented with winning small time. You will not even be contented by probably winning once. You forget about your past success. You get that urge to win again. You need to consistently win every time. And those who are ambitious, think about the school scenario. When they have examinations coming up, they wouldn't need their parents to come and tell them each time, don't you have examinations? Shouldn't you be studying? And when they start studying, they wouldn't need their parents standing beside them all the time telling them, put in more effort. Because of that burning urge inside, they do it themselves. Now, this is the difference that ambitions makes. When we do programs for students, what we usually see is that students, they flock into the hall, and they flock into the hall, they look at the kind of trophies that's on display, the trophies that we give to the students. So we find the ones who are successful, the ambitious ones, coming up to us and asking, what are these trophies for? Who are the ones who gets this? While the other ones come in and probably tell us, you know, how long is this going to last and what are you going to cover? You can really see the urge to win in their eyes. And it is this ambition that makes a difference. I think we need to take a small commercial break within the next few seconds, and we'll definitely come back. And we'll definitely come back, and we'll continue with the rest of the journey. Yeah? Thank you.